Welcome to the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education regular public monthly meeting. Today, Monday, May 11th, 2026. Tonight, the board met in executive session here at James Caldwell High School, room 105 at 6 o'clock p.m. The purpose of that meeting was to discuss personnel litigation, miscellaneous, and old business matters. That meeting has been advertised and is in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act and NJSA 10:4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law. The matters discussed will be made public when confidentiality is no longer required, and formal action pursuant to said discussion shall take place only at a meeting to which the public has been invited. Tonight, the regular public meeting is taking place at 7:02 p.m. here in the James Caldwell High School cafeteria. The Board of Education meeting is being streamed live, but all community questions and comments will be welcomed here in person only. The Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education public conference meeting is also in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJSA 10:4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law. Notices have been sent to the Progress in Caldwell, New Jersey, the Star Ledger, Newark, New Jersey, and Tap Into West Essex. Notices have also been posted at the Board of Education Business Office, located in the Harrison School Building, Gray Street, West Caldwell, and have been delivered to the clerks of the Borough of Caldwell and the Township of West Caldwell for posting. Brian, can you take the roll?
Yes. Mr. Diavola.
Here.
Ms. DiMartini. Ms. Landolfi Jefferson.
Here.
Ms. Mack.
Here.
Ms. Grosso.
Here.
We have 4 voting members present. We have a quorum.
Can everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brian, are there any communications for the board?
There were none.
Okay, thank you. We're moving on to the superintendent's report.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Our first presentation this evening is going to be the Caldwell-West Caldwell Education Foundation, who will be presenting on this year's grant season and telling us a little bit about the grants that were awarded. So I'm going to ask Mrs. Duran-Lubansky to join us at the microphone.
No. I'm not the one. Good evening, everybody. I just have a quick little presentation to give before we get into these best of the best teachers that we want to celebrate. I'm Mary Ann Lubansky, member of the Board of Trustees and chair of the Grant Committee of the Caldwell-West Caldwell Education Foundation. For those of you not familiar, the foundation uses our volunteer hours to hold events that raise money to be given to the teachers of the district in the form of grants. Our volunteers hold events like the Caldwell Classic 5K. Shameless ad. Please, please go on Saturday. And even more important, please volunteer to help. Right now we need volunteers for along the route. It takes no special talent. We just need you to stand along the route. So anybody who hears this, please go to our website and click the volunteer button and we're good to go. That's our main event right now. We have done others in the past. We also do a family yoga, which took place last month, for those of you that made it. And our goal basically always has been to fund new innovative projects that the district could not fund because they were not yet proven to work. Try them out, and if they were proven successful, like our stand-up desks, hope that the district could pick up the cost. And we always aim to fill that gap and reward the teachers, like those here tonight, for their ideas and time they took to formulate a plan to make things better for the students of our district, which we're all here for. Over the last few years, however, we've seen a shift in the types of grant requests that we are receiving. So instead of innovative ideas, we are seeing equipment items like calculators and coolers. And that's not exactly innovative. So all too often, the discussion at the grant committee meetings has been whether the funding of these items are part of the foundation's mission to cover these items or the district responsibility. And the answer is almost always the same, and it's always followed up by, but the district can't do it at this point, so if we think it's a good idea, then we need to fund this, and we have been. And however, sometimes we feel a little bit, just a little bit, taken advantage of. And we feel that perhaps the administration has been asking us for items first before they pay for it themselves. And in some cases, we actually know that to be true. And, you know, at this point in time, we're reclaiming our mission. So, books for a book club, as you'll see tonight, absolutely yes. Calculators, no. Standing desks that we have funded in the past, but because they work, we're not doing them anymore. But they do work. Want that to be known. We'll be doing those. Coolers for students to drink out of? No. Equipment for the media center's broadcast booth, which we love, yes. Garbage cans, as we've gotten requests for? No. So, as a community member, I'm old enough to have watched the responsibility of items like tissues and glue sticks move from the district onto the taxpayer and the families of the district. And at this point, as a member of the CWCEF, we reject that transfer of responsibility for the items like I've mentioned from the district onto our volunteers, which we take our volunteer hours very seriously. So, teachers, the message here for those of you here and anyone listening is not for you to stop applying by any means for any grants. The message is to please think bigger and become more innovative. Be the movers and shakers that this community needs, and we know you can be. The foundation has the money and is willing to partner on the right grants, so let's do this. And now I present the teachers that we have awarded over $57,000 for their grants in 2025. So honestly, again, these are the best of our district. So you all can come up in any order you want to present your grants.
Hi, I'm Jackie Stafford. I'm the media specialist here at the high school. I got a grant this year, but I have to say that the Education Foundation has been so generous here at the media center. I've gotten grants for cameras, for a broadcasting club that we started 4 years ago, and we've done all kinds of stuff. We've filmed games, we've been around the schools, we're Mr. Altanji hopefully next year put together a video to bring down to the 8th grade. We're trying to build that club and make it grow, so hopefully as we go forward we'll do more and more with that. But they have been exceptionally generous this year because we got 25 MacBooks. The MacBooks I had in the library were dying. They were more than 10 years old. We couldn't update the operating system. We tried to update GarageBand, which I use. It didn't work. I was really struggling. And this year we got the new ones. I was wheeling, sometimes I'm like, why do I ask for these things? Because I was wheeling my card all over the school today because I was podcasting with Mrs. Spina and I was podcasting with Mrs. Callahan and all of their classes. And everything worked, and it's so nice when everything works because that doesn't always happen. So I'm really grateful to them for all the support they've given me really over the last 5-6 years. So thank you for that.
I'm Jamie Blanchard. I'm an ESL teacher at the high school, and I'm also the coordinator for the ESL department in our district. Thank you to the Caldwell-West Caldwell Education Foundation. We really appreciate you taking a chance on our proposal. ESL students from K through 12 need to take a test every year called the Access Test. And it's given in February and March. And when I was first started being an ESL teacher, it was a one-on-one test. I would have a rubric, I would grade them, I'd be able to speak to them back and forth. For the speaking portion, they have to read, write, listen, and speak. Over the past 8-9 years, it's become a computer-based test fully. So the students have to, when they're doing their speaking section, talk into a microphone and talk to a computer. It's very, very awkward to talk to somebody that is not giving you any feedback facially, any questions back. And last year I was at a conference for ESL and NJ TESOL, and the teacher of the year for the nation was an ESL teacher. And she said that one of the best things she did for her students was to get vlogger grade headphones with high quality microphones. Her speaking scores increased immensely because there wasn't any feedback, there wasn't any rustling. Their voice, their recording was crystal clear. So we wrote a proposal to the Education Foundation for headphones, vlogger grade headphones for K through 12. We will get the results back end of June, and hopefully we have an increase in speaking scores. And the wonderful thing about this is each ESL teacher has a set, and we can use them this year for many, many years to come. So it's an enduring project. Thank you very much.
I'm Christopher Altanji, technology education teacher and the coordinator for the technology and arts at the high school.
And I am Keith Sperano, woodworking and technology teacher at the high school. So we put in a grant for a bunch of robotics kits for the kids to be building. We asked for the VEX version 5 robotics kits. VEX is statewide and nationwide one of the biggest robotics building competitions for high school and beyond, actually. And we have had, since I began here 5+ years ago, kids asking every year for a robotics club for the opportunity to build robots. And while we have a robotics course, it hasn't really been part of that scene. And we are looking to build that and facilitate for those kids looking for it, those kits, those robots, and the iterative design, the build and rebuild, figure out what's not working, try again, that whole design process that we have always strived for in our department. These kits are going to give those kids an opportunity to do that time and time again, this year, next year, for years to come. And every time a new competition comes around, they'll be ready to put their hat in the ring and see what they can put forward and contribute to that competition and themselves building forward.
We also want to thank the board. I'm sure everyone knows we have a big referendum project coming up, starting construction in about a month, for our new technology wing. So this is going to play a big role in hopefully boosting that enrollment up and bringing more kids into the technology aspect of our program. So it's a big win for the students and everybody in the school. So we're really excited about that. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Jen Emilo. I am the media specialist at Wilson School and Lincoln School, and I am very grateful for the generosity of the Caldwell-West Caldwell Education Foundation. Even back in the beginning when I was a third grade teacher, I was lucky enough to receive grants from them for standing desks, for Lego kits. In the Media Center, they have been so incredibly generous to the media centers at all 4 schools. They've funded projects for cultural heritage books that the district then, thanks to funding from the board, was able to expand to all the classrooms in all of the elementary schools. Last year, they funded no-tech maker kits, and we had clubs at Wilson School this year where the kids were able to come in the winter months when it was cold during recess and just make, and it was kind of a space for themselves to build and create with no pressure. This year's grant was a little bit different. I've noticed in my travels from school to school, at some point I've taught in every elementary school, and I've noticed that in classrooms where there's an FM system, kids are able to focus more, even when it is not, I'm talking about like a class-wide broadcast system, not the individual personal ones, that kids are able to focus more. And so I did a little bit of research and found that there are studies out there that show that if there's an FM system, it reduces kind of extraneous noise in the classroom while allowing students to focus on the teacher, or if another student is presenting and using the FM system, to focus on them. And so I wrote a grant that they funded, and it is going really well. We've taken our first set of data, and the kids are excited about it. I'm excited about it. I'm already seeing greater levels of engagement in the classroom. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Jackie Gunther, and I teach 3rd grade at Wilson. And I too have been a recipient of numerous grants over the years. I think half of my classroom is because of the foundation. And they're just things, you know, I love. We order things that we can just keep on using. I ordered materials for soft starts many years ago, which are still incorporated into the day. I wanted to speak about this year's grant and last year's grant. So last year's grant was for a calming corner, which we started it a little bit last year by the time it came, but this is the first year we had it like fully activated the whole year. And what the grant allowed us is to furnish a section of our classroom with some cozy like plush stuffed animals and plush pillows and weighted pillows and a beanbag chair and some carpet. And then alongside of that, we have a bookshelf with lots of different sensory issues for all different kinds of sensory needs. And the kids are just, they rely on it for so many things. There's some kids that actually truly need it. They need that sensory input, that they need that break in the day. But we didn't want to just limit it. We had, it was we had to try to figure out how to make it fair so everybody could, enjoy it and utilize it. So we came up with like a little token system, and there are certain kids that can just go in it whenever they need to, and they know that, but we also gave little tokens to all of the kids, and when they feel they would like a break, they come up to us and hand us the token, and then they can, go in there, as long as it's like a good time. So initially I was a little skeptical because I'm like, we have this like really fun corner and it's gonna be really distracting, and it's not. It's just kind of part of their everyday routine now. We have like scratch off art, we have different squishies, of course, we have headphones there if somebody just needs like a little bit of quiet in there, different types of like beanbag materials, and you name it, and it's just amazing. This year, our grant that was awarded has already come and is already also in full-fledged, and we ordered book clubs for the whole 3rd grade level. And the purpose of that is in our reading program, our reading curriculum, we meet with guided reading groups, daily. And we have materials from the district that we can meet with them on their reading level. They're not the most engaging materials. They're great for instruction and they serve their purpose, but kids aren't running home and being like, oh my gosh, I read this really great book today, because it's usually just, a few pages so that we can quickly address the students' skills within like a half-hour period, maybe an hour if it's 2 days. The foundation allowed me to get books, about 3 different sets of books for every student's reading level that I've seen in 3rd grade, so that we can meet with students on their reading level, and they have a choice, and this gives them ownership, and it gives them a lot more buy-in when they have a choice. And with their group, they can pick out a book that they would like to read together and really mimic the lifelong learners that we want them to be. I'm sure many of us here are in book clubs or have been in book clubs, or if nothing else, just run to a friend, I'm reading this book, guess what? And that's what my kids are doing now too. And I tried that over the past few years here and there, but I found myself I literally would go to 3 different county libraries to get enough books just for like 5 kids to read the same book. And Jen Emelo would help me to do that, but that was really very not sustainable. So now we have a plethora of books at all different levels that the kids are loving, and thank you so, so much, because it is the gift that will truly keep on giving, and hopefully up in the media center in the middle school and high school, they will continue to love. So thank you.
Cindy Halen can't be here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
She's the media specialist at the middle school, and she has a presentation that she sent that she'd like you all to listen to.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cindy Halen, and I am the media specialist at Grover Cleveland Middle School. I apologize for not being able to attend tonight's meeting, due to a last-minute family conflict, but I am truly grateful for your continued support of our students and the GCMS Media Center. Thank you to the Caldwell-West Caldwell Education Foundation and to the members of the Board of Ed for your generous support in helping transform the GCMS library into a dynamic makerspace where students can explore creativity, technology, and teamwork. With tools like the Cricut Explorer, Makey kits, Azobots, and hands-on engineering materials, students are already beginning to design, build, and collaborate on meaningful, real-world projects. We've started introducing these materials through our monthly maker menu and look forward to expanding opportunities next year through enrichment courses and future student council initiatives. With some of our future plans, we are hoping to have students be able to create school spirit merchandise and use that for different fundraising and participating in some of the coding and engineering challenges. This space will empower students to grow as creators, innovators, and community-minded learners. This is the sign that the students see on our makerspace table when they enter the library. Students have the opportunity to use the materials before school, after school, and during their lunch. For the Spring Maker menu, while introducing some of these tools, we have categorized them into logic and code, art and audio, and design and craft. So students are able to use the Azobots to do a spring garden maze challenge, the Makey for an interactive blackout poetry challenge, and the Cricut with our Cricut Design Studio to create different kinds of book covers so we could do our blind date with a book. So enticing students to check out books without looking at the book title, but really just a snippet about what the book could be about. So just some exciting things that we've been introducing, slowly trying to introduce these tools and encourage students to be self-learners. And this will hopefully give students the opportunity next year to just walk into the space and start creating and using these tools on their own. So again, I apologize for not being able to present in person this evening, but I do thank everyone for their generosity, and we look forward to all the great things we could bring to the makerspace at GCMS.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Allen.
Okay.
And that was fantastic. And there was one for bouncy bands, which we've given in the past as well, just for focus issues for, I think it was third grade, but yeah, I'm a little old, so I'm not. But I think that was it. So if we could take some pictures, that would be
Sure,
great.
absolutely, absolutely. Does anybody from the board want to say anything?
Yeah, if
Or
anyone has any questions.
I just want to say thank you for your time. I work in education too, and I know the Education Foundation is just critical, you know, to get our teachers, you know, in their classrooms, the innovation and the tools to really enhance and enrich students' learning. So really, and I know all of you are volunteering your time, and we appreciate that. So thanks so much.
thanks, Jen. Anybody else? No? Yeah, and just, you good, Maurice? And just to say thank you all very, very much. We always say to each other as parents in the district, it takes a village, but it takes a village running a school district as well. So the Education Foundation is a vital part of that, and it stands on the shoulders of all of you being volunteers. So thank you for your time. Thank you for supporting our teachers. Thank you to our teachers for taking the time out of all of your paperwork you have to do to take the time to write these grants, because you love our kids and you want to make their spaces where they live and learn during 8 hours of every day fun and creative. And you know, Marianne, just to piggyback on what you said, like, thank you for challenging the teachers as well, right? To think outside of just the tangible items and to push themselves, right? Like I said, it takes a village, it's partnership all the way around. We have to push each other so that we can make things better for kids, because that's why we're all doing this, right? So thank you to everyone, and to Mr. Altanji and Mr. Sperano. We're equally as excited. We can't wait to break that champagne bottle over that door in September. And I will say that I had a chance to go to the Newark Payne Tech 2 weeks ago and see their robotics club, and it was like so awesome, like what they were doing, and I'm so excited that our kids are going to have the opportunity to do those wonderful things, and the Education Foundation is part of that. So thank you all so very much. So let's take some pictures. Yeah, thank you.
So I just wanted to echo what everyone else has said. Congratulations to our teachers for writing such innovative grants. And thank you so much to our Ed Foundation, who continually come to the rescue, right? And really help us to bring some of that innovation to life in our classrooms. And another plug for the 5K. I'm going to start, but I am not running. I promise. Yeah, maybe. Okay. So the superintendent's report is going to continue with an update on our safety and security planning process, and I'm going to hope that I can do this. Let's see. Is that right? Nope. Sorry. I'm going to need help. Is it that button on the side? Or do I have to hold it? Oh, thank you. Okay. All right, so over the last year, or almost a year that I've been in the district, we've had several meaningful conversations about safety and security, and based on the conversations that have been held at this board meeting over the last few meetings as well, I thought it was a good opportunity for us to get a sense of what really is included in not only the requirements for safety and security for our district, but also some of the boots on the ground things that are happening. So the first piece of this is just a brief overview of what New Jersey state law requires. So NJAC 6A 16-6.2B 13 through 14 establishes a uniform statewide policies and procedures for ensuring cooperation between education officials and law enforcement agencies. You're going to see that if you go back to our November agenda, for example, there is something called a Uniform State Memorandum of Agreement, the MOA between education and law enforcement. And this, when statewide, means that all school districts and their local law enforcement agencies, and or if they don't have a local law enforcement agency, their state and or county law enforcement agencies are included in the use of this particular document, this memorandum of agreement. So the document is reviewed at the state level, and it's revised as necessary before it gets distributed to local agencies. Both education and law enforcement are required to review their particular MOA. We have a meeting on a regular basis annually to review, discuss, and sign off on the document. The 2025-2026 MOA was approved here, as I said, in November of this past school year in the fall. Article 9 of the Uniform State Memorandum of Agreement, hold it, I'm talking ahead here. What am I doing? Nope. Is that the other one? There we go. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Brian. So Article 9 of the MOA between education and law enforcement provides details concerning the development and implementation of school safety and security plans that are in alignment with the code citation I mentioned earlier. The Caldwell-West Caldwell Public Schools School Safety and Security Plan is aligned with all New Jersey state statutory requirements. Public Law 2017 C-162 requires every school district to designate a school administrator or other designee as the school safety specialist who is trained through the Office of School Preparedness and Emergency Planning. The New Jersey Department of Education Office of School Preparedness and Emergency Planning, or OSPEP, provides support to districts and school leaders in assisting with the establishment and maintenance of a school safety and security plan that addresses all hazards and follows the phases of crisis management, planning, mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. The website there will take you to their website on the Department of Education site. Where are we? Yeah? Okay. All right. The Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education considers student safety and security as a priority goal for the district. The Board of Education is focused on safeguarding our students, staff, and schools. Plans and procedures are reviewed and updated for emergency preparedness on an ongoing basis. Our internal district safety and security team and the district crisis team meet with local police, fire, and first aid squads from both Caldwell and West Caldwell to review the safety and security plan to assure compliance with all local, state, and federal requirements.
Oops. Fast-forwarded through your presentation.
Okay.
Yeah. We gotta go. We
All right.
gotta get, so this way everyone can follow along.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. This is,
Okay.
We did that one. One more.
And another one.
One more.
Okay.
There we go.
there we go.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so actually one more, Brian.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. School safety and security planning process. In addition to the creation and annual review of the safety and security plan, building principals regularly review the plan with staff. Each school conducts detailed monthly drills as required under the New Jersey Administrative Code to ensure students and staff are aware of the measures necessary in case of an emergency. It is essential that accurate and current emergency contact information for all students in our district be updated by parents and guardians in the event of changes. This information is used to contact parents in case of an emergency. Okay, so security plan, now this is getting into some of the things that we have already in existence in our schools. Locked doors. All exterior doors are locked after students enter the building each morning. A door locking system is installed on those exterior doors. Entry to all school buildings by parents and other visitors to our schools is through the designated main entrance. All outer doors to all students student-occupied classrooms are locked from the outside. When children are outside the classroom, they're always supervised by an adult. Staff and visitor access. All district employees, including substitute teachers and contracted personnel, are required to wear identification badges during work hours to verify their status. All visitors to our schools press a doorbell that rings in the main office. A camera at the entrance transmits a video monitor to a video monitor in the main office, where office staff are able to observe the visitor while that person is still outside the building. Two-way communication allows for questioning before the door lock is released. Visitors are then directed to the main office to sign in, receive a visitor pass, and confirm their appointment. While our security plan attempts to prevent safety violations, our crisis management plan directs the actions to be implemented if a violation actually occurs. The crisis management plan covers the following emergencies: bomb threats, including suspicious packages, hazardous material, toxic spills, disturbances, demonstrations, intruders in the building, weapons in the building, hostage situations, kidnapping, self-harming behavior, medical emergencies, natural disasters, and untimely or accidental death. The crisis management plan, which is reviewed and updated annually, was written by school officials in conjunction with local police, emergency management, and first aid squad personnel, and follows state and federal guidelines. Due to the safety-sensitive nature of the information contained in the plan, the document is not available for public inspection. The crisis management plan includes evacuation procedures to be implemented under specific conditions. In extraordinary circumstances, students may be brought to off-site locations for their safety. These locations are not made available to the public for safety reasons. Parents would be notified through the district's automated system with pickup information in the event that this occurs. Lockdown or building containment. Some emergencies require a lockdown or building containment response when children will be held within the locked school building. During these emergencies, the security procedures will not allow any parent or visitors to enter the building until the situation is resolved. If a lockdown procedure is implemented, parents will be notified in writing about the situation, in addition to receiving an automated telephone call and/or SMS message upon resolution of the situation. Once again, it is essential to keep accurate contact information up to date in our Genesis system. Security drills and partnership with law enforcement. Under New Jersey state law, all schools will engage in one fire drill and one security drill each month. Record of these drills are kept on file in the district and are reported to the New Jersey Department of Education as required. The law also requires schools to send a written notification to parents and guardians following the completion of a school security drill no later than the end of the school day on which the school security drill was conducted. Our police departments often observe monthly security drills at each school and frequently visit our schools as part of their regular routine. Law enforcement partnerships. Our police departments frequently provide officers during drop-off and pickup and make both planned and unplanned visits during the school day. Additionally, they are very responsive to the needs of our schools during events and activities that occur outside of the regular school day, and of course, in the event of an emergency. The Caldwell-West Caldwell Public Schools and the Board of Education are truly grateful for the partnership that we share with the Caldwell and West Caldwell Police Departments. Law enforcement partnership, school resource officer. The School Resource Officer program was developed as a part-time role specifically to provide for the needs of the school community. The SRO also has obligations as a detective with the West Caldwell Police Department. The SRO provides law enforcement against drugs and violence, or LEAD, instruction at the elementary schools. This on-the-street and in-the-classroom program is intended to educate students and to build positive connections between law enforcement agencies and our schools. Another key aspect of the role of the SRO is to offer guidance to students as they navigate high school through mentoring and programs such as driver safety, law, substance abuse, and civic responsibility. The SRO also works closely with school administration to provide guidance on issues such as school safety, bullying, substance abuse, school threats, criminal acts involving students both on and off school property, handle with care notifications, and conflict resolution. Through this collaboration with administrators, counselors, and parents, the SRO plays an important role in preventing crime and promoting a positive, safe school environment. It is most important to note that the SRO is not typically tasked with the overseeing of physical security of the buildings, except in the case of pre-planned larger events. We are grateful to the Township of West Caldwell and the West Caldwell Police Department for funding the part-time SRO position. Community and parent programs. Our police departments continue to provide information sessions for community members and parents. For example, on October 15th, 2025, the Caldwell and West Caldwell Police collaborated on a presentation on the topic of e-bike laws and safety, which was held at James Caldwell High School. Security best practice. There are several things that are considered best practices for security, such as secure designated visitor vestibules, which for us, as we've spoken about before, are part of our referendum for new vestibules as well as updates to some existing structures. Exterior lighting is in place. Security camera video surveillance system is in place. Access control and badges in place. Mandatory drills also in place. An SRO in place. Holistic safety, mental health, school counseling, behavioral threat assessment management, harassment, intimidation, and bullying policy and procedures are all in place. In accordance with Public Law 2019 C33, which is Alyssa's law, codified as NJSA 18A 4110-13, requires all public school buildings to be equipped with a silent panic alarm linked directly to law enforcement that can be triggered in a security emergency. This is also in place. Going back to our safety and security referendum projects, locked double entry doors are in the process of being upgraded and or added to specific school locations as part of the approved referendum. Jefferson, Washington, GCMS all have security vestibule updates that will be done this summer. Lincoln, Wilson, James Caldwell High School will be receiving new security vestibule with upgrades to the existing structure, and Harrison School already has a double entry vestibule in place. We also have some digital tools for safety and security that are in place in our district: cybersecurity software, application for the direct communication with law enforcement, an application for anonymous reporting, Wi-Fi and mobile network upgrades to support communication, electronic access keys, and the video surveillance is accessible by law enforcement as specified in the Memorandum of Agreement with Education and Law Enforcement. Just one final note: a multi-layered approach built on engagement, safety, and a positive school environment through collaboration, training, and the implementation of high-quality planning is key to our ability to prepare for the safety and security of our schools. Thank you. Board members, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to address them.
Questions? No? Daniel? No? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Fenari. Thank you.
Okay. No?
Anything else?
We're good? Yeah, I have one more.
One more, okay.
Okay. The last item on the superintendent's report this evening has to do with our HIB reporting and our violence and vandalism reporting. So I'm going to start with the report on violence and vandalism, harassment, intimidation, and bullying for the period 1 of this year, which takes us from September 1st to December 31st of 2025. First, I'll give you the incidents of violence and vandalism and other incidents leading to removal for each school. James Caldwell High School, 47. Grover Cleveland High School, 15. Jefferson Elementary School, 0. Lincoln Elementary School, 0. Washington Elementary School, 3. Wilson Elementary School, 0. Harrison School, 0. The next two columns in our report have to do with HIB confirmed and alleged. Please know that the confirmed are in addition to those that were alleged, so those two numbers would combine. So at the James Caldwell High School, 1 confirmed HIB during this time period, 2 alleged. Grover Cleveland High School, Middle School, 3 HIB confirmed, 1 alleged. Jefferson Elementary, 0 confirmed, 1 alleged. Lincoln Elementary, 0 confirmed, 0 alleged. Washington Elementary School, 2 confirmed, 1 alleged. Wilson Elementary School, 1 confirmed, 1 alleged. Harrison School, 0 confirmed and 0 alleged. The report also requires us to provide information on the training, the number of training sessions that we have given. At the district level, there were 3 training sessions on these topics. At each of the schools, there was 1 training session given during this time period on these topics. The second portion of this report has to do with the self-assessment for grading for harassment, intimidation, and bullying. For each school, the scores, out of a maximum score of 78, the schools have categories including HIV programs, approaches, and other initiatives, training on board-approved HIV policy, other staff instruction and training programs, curriculum and instruction on HIV and related information and skills, personnel, school-level HIV incident reporting procedure, HIV investigation procedure, HIV reporting, and all of those add up to a score, the maximum of which is 78. Each of our schools went through the self-assessment process. Grover Cleveland Middle School, 77. Harrison School, 74. James Caldwell High School, 77. Jefferson Elementary School, 73. Lincoln Elementary School, 71. Washington Elementary School, 72. Wilson Elementary School, 73. So what happens then with this is these self-assessments get submitted to the State Department of Education. The State Department reviews all of the data, the reported information in our STSS reporting and any of the HIB reporting systems that we have through that mechanism, and they will verify and or reevaluate the points that each school had. Sometimes we're harder on ourselves than the state is, but these are things that each school has looked at the criteria very carefully and made their decision as to their score. Now, where a score doesn't meet 78, none of our schools rated themselves that highly, but where a school feels they need to work more closely on some of that information, that folds into some of our safety and security planning for the following school year, and it also allows us the opportunity to look at professional development opportunities that we can provide, one of which that is occurring very soon. Our Office of School Preparedness and Emergency Planning, the State Department of Education, will be coming in to work with our administrators in June, and then we'll be returning to evaluate our drilling procedures on an informal basis, a consultation basis. They always say it's not a gotcha, it's to make sure everybody's doing what they need to be doing and in the most appropriate way. So that's coming up for us, and we'll continue to keep working through all of those things to be better at what we do. Okay?
Thank you. Any
Thank you.
questions from the board?
I just have, I might have missed this, Lydia.
Sure.
The self-assessment, is that completed by the building principals or the school?
It's the school safety team and the principal at each school.
Okay. And that concludes the superintendent's report?
It does.
Great. Okay, so I'm going to move on now to committee reports. We have Finance and Facilities and Curriculum and Technology this week. So we'll do Finance and Facilities first.
Sure. The Finance and Facilities Committee met via Google Meet on April 29th for approximately 1 hour. Board committee members present included President Julianne Grosso and myself. Business Administrator Brian McCarthy and Interim Superintendent Dr. Lydia Fenari were present from the administration. The committee reviewed all finance and facility agenda items that are included on tonight's regular meeting agenda. The committee also reviewed preliminary construction and fee proposals from Perrette Somjin and E&V Architects for the demolition and construction of the new field house at James Caldwell High School. The committee considered total architect and engineering fees, construction cost estimates, and preliminary designs submitted by both architects. And based on our analysis, the Finance and Facilities Committee will recommend to the full board that E&V be hired to design and oversee the construction of the new James Caldwell High School field house. The original proposals from both architects were to design a field house that did not exceed $6 million in total cost. The business administrator, Brian McCarthy, will ask E&V to reduce the scope of the project to not exceed $4.5 million. The project will be financed through a withdrawal from our capital reserve account. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? No? Okay, and that's finance and facilities?
that's
great. And then we'll do curriculum and technology.
Curriculum and Technology Committee met on May 7th, 11:30 a.m. virtually. It was myself, Interim Superintendent Fernari, Alina Jacobs, Daniel Mack, and Mr. Misbahuddin. I said it right? At the high school, Michael Finger's artwork was selected for the Young Artists exhibition and was displayed at South Orange Performing Arts Center. This was standing out amongst thousands of submissions from hundreds of students across 25 high schools in the state. To address students at risk of failure in 8th grade, the middle school has been using intervention process that includes early identification meetings with students and parents, individualizing support plans, opportunities to make up work late, counselor meetings, and using enrichment time to catch up on missing assignments. Our FBLA club's Teach Tech initiative was highlighted for having students teach technology tools to adults and staff, including sessions for teachers on tools such as Canva, Google Sites, and workshops for ESL parents on navigating Genesis and our school websites. Our 5-6 Building Bridges program will continue this month with special visits from the middle school 6th through 8th grade students who will return to their former elementary schools at the end of the month. These students have created presentations based on student surveys and will present to 5th graders about what to expect in the middle school next year. Summer assignments for the middle school students will be shared in June, and staff will be available throughout the summer to assist students. A plan is underway to begin a pilot program for social studies. In addition, we're looking at piloting Bridge to Writings in grade 4 and 5, which would support the K through 5 writing coherence aligned with the latest research. This Thursday, the ESL team will be hosting a family event at the middle school, including our ESL Parent Advisory Committee. And finally, the district is preparing a June community presentation on the close of the five-year strategic plan, including overview of the progress, each goal, and highlights from the current year. A survey will be sent to gather the community input for the next strategic plan, and administrators will also contribute input for that as well. Our next meeting will be, oh no, we didn't do it. To be determined. Before the June board event meeting.
Great. Any questions from the board? No? Okay. And that concludes our committee reports. This is a voting meeting. So we're going to do the approval of minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
And a second?
I will second it.
And then Brian, whenever you're ready.
Yes. Mr. Diambola?
Yes.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson?
Yes.
Ms. Mack?
Yes.
Ms. Grosso?
Yes.
4-0, motion carried.
Okay, now we're going to open public comments on agenda items only. Public participation shall be governed by the following. Participant must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of their name and address. Statements are to be limited to 3 minutes duration. Participant may speak no more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. Boards use the public comment period of the meeting as an opportunity to listen to citizen concerns, but not to debate issues or enter into a question and answer session or a cross-examination between the public and individual members. Please be aware that not all issues brought before the board will be resolved this evening. Boards may respond to public comment by seeking additional information or by delegating the authority to investigate the issue to the superintendent or her designee. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, and/or terminate a participant's comments if they exceed the allotted time or are objectively obscene. Participants may be civilly liable for any obscene, defamatory, or slanderous statements made during public comment. Would anyone like to address the board this evening? And that includes any questions you might have on the safety and security presentation. Yep.
Hello, Christina Press, 22 Eastern Parkway. So I just want to say thank you for giving the background and the presentation about the current state of the security in the schools. I think that it's important to know what we already are doing. In the presentation, you did say that SROs are already in place, and I don't necessarily think that that's true for all of the schools in the district. So can you just clarify who actually has an SRO?
We have one SRO who serves all of our schools.
And are they actually present in all of the schools? Because I don't think that I've ever seen an SRO, at least at Wilson School.
So in the presentation, I tried to describe the way the SRO functions in our schools. So in all of the schools, the SRO does educate our 5th grade students in the LEAD program. That usually happens in the spring. And in addition to that, principals have, at any time, they can contact the SRO for support in any of those areas that were in the report.
Okay. And I guess one final question is, has anyone ever asked the teachers or the parents what their thoughts are on the current state of the security, and if they had any feelings about wanting additional security? Or are we just basing it off of what the state regulations are and saying, okay, this is what's in place, this is enough because we have the bare minimum, and that's enough, even though every other town around us, maybe not every other town, most of the other towns around us are doing more than we are right now in our schools?
Okay, so I can't address what other school districts are doing. I know that we are doing everything that we are required to do and more. And just as a point to answer your question a little more directly, most recently we had at our faculty meetings, we had security training with the new application that we have for staff members to be able to call lockdown drills and other kinds of drills. And so we're putting that in the hands of our staff in the event that an emergency happens. It's not just one single button somewhere in the main office. So, we talk about safety and security actively all the time. And I would venture to guess if you asked any of the staff members, they would have attended that meeting and received that training.
Okay. I guess I'll just end with a statement then, is that I feel that we should be doing more as a community to make sure that we're not just doing the bare minimum of the regulations of what the state is saying that we should be doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? On agenda items only. No? Okay. All right, then we're going to move into our voting portion of the meeting. So we're going to start with curriculum and technology.
Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, motion to approve items A through G under curriculum and technology on this evening's agenda.
Great, and can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
And Brian, whenever you're ready, if you could please take the roll.
Yes, Mr. Diambola.
Yes.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson.
Yes.
Ms. Mack.
Yes.
Ms. Grosso.
Yes.
4-0, motion carried.
And then we'll move on to personnel. So Chris, will you do that for Terry, please, tonight?
Upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, motion to approve items A through O under certificated staff and items A through H under non-certificated staff in personnel on this evening's agenda.
And can I have a second?
I'll second.
And Brian, whenever you're ready.
Yes. Mr. Diambola?
Yes.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson?
Yes.
Ms. Mack?
Yes.
Ms. Grosso?
Yes.
4-0, motion carried.
And then moving on to finance, which will also include tonight, just again, calling out the resolutions about the two roof projects, one for a new roof at Jefferson, the other at Wilson School. Danielle.
Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, motion to approve items A through X under finance and item A under facilities on this evening's agenda.
And a second?
I'll second it.
And then Brian, whenever you're ready.
Yes. Mr. Diambola?
Yes.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson?
Yes.
Ms. Mack?
Yes.
Ms. Grosso?
Yes.
4-0, motion carried.
We have nothing under policy tonight, so we'll move on to public comments on anything on or off the agenda. Again, to remind everyone, public participation shall be governed by the following. Participant must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of their name and address. Statements are to be limited to 3 minutes duration. Participant may speak no more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. Boards use the public comment period of the meeting as an opportunity to listen to citizen concerns, not to debate issues or enter into a question and answer or a cross-examination between the public and individual members. Please be aware that not all issues brought before the board will be resolved this evening. Boards may respond to public comment by seeking additional information or by delegating the authority to investigate the issue to the superintendent or her designee. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, and or terminate a participant's comments if they exceed the allotted time or are objectively obscene. Participants may be civilly liable for any obscene, defamatory, or slanderous statements made during public comment. Anyone want to come up and address the board this evening on anything? Nope. Okay. Okay, so we will close the public comment portion. And just piggybacking to just be very transparent, so now that tonight we've approved the architect for the field house with the revised budget, once the board is presented with those plans and we decide on it, we will be presenting those plans with a full itemized budget to the public, okay? And roughly the timeline that the board has asked the architect to do is basically to have demolition of the current field house in the winter and construction next spring 2027 with the hopes of opening it in the fall of 2027. Okay, just so everyone knows. Public comments closed. You can ask at the June meeting, Liz, okay? Or you could speak to us off after, okay? Can I make a motion now to exit public session and enter executive at 8:04 p.m.?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Brian, if you could just take the roll.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Nays? Motion carried.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a very good rest of your week, and we'll see you in June.